What you see here is one of the most important waterways on Earth. Every single day, billions of dollars worth of oil flows through this narrow passage. If this route were suddenly closed, the impact would be felt across the entire global economy. Fuel prices could surge, international trade could slow down, and global markets could panic. This small stretch of water is called the Strait of Hormuz, and it is considered the most critical oil choke point in the world. The Strait of Hormuz is located in the Middle East, connecting the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea and the wider Indian Ocean. To the north lies Iran, while the southern side belongs to Oman, particularly the Musandam Peninsula. Several major oil-producing nations rely on this route, including Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates. For these countries, the Strait of Hormuz acts as the primary gateway to global markets. Despite its enormous global importance, the Strait of Hormuz is surprisingly narrow. At its narrowest point, the distance between the two coastlines is only about 39 kilometers, or roughly 21 nautical miles. But the shipping lanes used by massive oil tankers are even smaller. Each direction of traffic is limited to a corridor of about 3 kilometers wide, separated by a buffer zone to prevent collisions. Every day, dozens of supertankers carrying millions of barrels of oil must carefully navigate through this narrow channel. Because of its strategic importance, the Strait of Hormuz has long been a focal point of geopolitical tension. Iran controls much of the northern coastline and has repeatedly warned that it could block the strait during times of conflict. Meanwhile, the United States maintains a strong naval presence in the region to ensure freedom of navigation. Regional tensions involving countries such as Israel and Iran have also raised concerns about the stability of this critical shipping route. Throughout history, there have been incidents involving tanker seizures, naval standoffs, and military threats near the strait. But what would happen if the Strait of Hormuz were suddenly closed? The consequences could be dramatic. Global oil supplies would immediately shrink, pushing oil prices sharply higher. Fuel costs for transportation, electricity, and manufacturing could surge worldwide. Countries heavily dependent on imported oil would face economic pressure, and global markets could react with significant volatility. Although some alternative pipelines exist, they can only replace a small portion of the oil that normally flows through the strait. For this reason, governments, energy companies, and military forces around the world closely monitor developments in the Strait of Hormuz. It may appear as just a narrow waterway on the map, but its strategic importance is enormous. The stability of global energy markets and international trade depends heavily on the continued flow of ships through this single passage. In a world driven by energy and global trade, geography can shape the fate of entire economies. And few places demonstrate that reality better than the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow gateway with global consequences.